Gabby Hayes, the quintessential sidekick of Hollywood westerns, lived a life as colorful and rich as the characters he portrayed on screen. Born George Francis Gabby Hayes on May 7, 1885 in Stannards, New York, Hayes became one of the most beloved figures in American cinema. Though his career spanned decades, it wasn't until later in life that Hayes broke his silence about one of the most significant relationships of his career: his friendship with Randolph Scott. The two actors worked together in numerous westerns, but Hayes, always the private man, had rarely spoken about their off-screen relationship. Now, in a rare and candid interview late in his life, Hayes opened up about Scott, offering a warm and respectful tribute to his co-star and friend. A quiet gentleman. In his interview, Hayes described Randolph Scott as a true gentleman. While Scott's on-screen persona was that of a stoic, no-nonsense cowboy, Hayes revealed a different side to the actor off-screen. Scott was reserved, introspective, and surprisingly soft-spoken. Hayes was quick to praise Scott's professional dedication, recalling that he was always prepared, never missed his marks, and had a reputation for being a quiet leader on set. He wasn't the type to brag or draw attention to himself, Hayes remarked, emphasizing how Scott let his work speak for itself. Hayes admired Scott's humility and professionalism, which set him apart from other Hollywood stars of the time. Respect built on silence. Hayes admitted that he never spoke publicly about Scott sooner because of their mutual respect for one another. He noted that Scott, a man of few words, never sought publicity or attention. Randolph wasn't the kind of fellow who liked to be gossiped about, Hayes explained. This understanding formed the foundation of their friendship, which was built on genuine admiration, rather than the need for external validation. Hayes shared that their bond was forged on professionalism, mutual respect, and a shared love for the craft of acting. For Hayes, there was no need to speak about it for public consumption. Their quiet bond was enough. A friend, behind the screen. As Hayes delved deeper into his memories of Scott, he spoke fondly of Scott's private world. He shared that Scott was not just a hard-working actor, but also a man of deep thoughts and personal connections. Hayes mentioned that Scott's friendship with actor Cary Grant had long been a topic of speculation, though he refused to divulge too much. What Hayes was willing to reveal was Scott's unwavering loyalty and commitment to lifelong friendships. Randolph was the kind of man who'd stand by you no matter what, Hayes said. Scott had a code of honor that he lived by, just like the characters he portrayed. Hayes admired Scott not only for his on-screen heroism, but also for the strength of his character, Scott's influence on Hayes' career. One of the most surprising revelations Hayes made in his interview was the role Scott played in shaping his own career. According to Hayes, Scott had encouraged producers to cast older, eccentric character actors in prominent roles, something that directly benefited Hayes. Scott, always a forward thinker, believed that the Western genre wasn't just about young gunslingers, but about the real people, the settlers, the gold panners, and the older characters who shaped the frontier. He knew I had something to offer, and he made sure others saw it too, Hayes said, with genuine gratitude. This gesture revealed not just Scott's loyalty to Hayes, but his understanding of the importance of all actors, no matter their age or appearance, in telling the story of the American West. A quiet tribute. Throughout the interview, Hayes spoke about Randolph Scott with palpable warmth and admiration. The affection in Hayes' voice was unmistakable, as he fondly remembered their time together both on and off the set. We didn't ride side by side much on screen, Hayes chuckled, but in spirit, we were always riding the same trail. Hayes' reflections offered a glimpse into the quiet strength of their friendship, a bond that wasn't loudly proclaimed or publicly celebrated, but one that endured through mutual respect and genuine affection. By breaking his silence late in life, Hayes provided a heartfelt tribute to a man who had not only been a co-star, but a true friend. the legacy of Gabby Hayes. Gabby Hayes' career spanned decades, with roles that made him one of the most recognizable sidekicks in Hollywood westerns. Known for his grizzled beard, raspy voice, and humorous yet lovable persona, Hayes became an iconic figure in American cinema. His partnership with Roy Rogers, John Wayne, and Randolph Scott cemented his place in Western lore. However, despite his fame, Hayes remained a private individual, never one for the spotlight off-screen. His legacy endures through various tributes, including the Gabby Hayes Days Festival in Wellsville, New York, where locals and fans celebrated his contribution to American entertainment. A lasting friendship, the impact on Western cinema. Hayes' reflections on his relationship with Randolph Scott reveal a deeper connection between the two actors than had ever been publicly known. Their friendship was grounded in mutual respect and admiration, transcending the confines of the Western genre. Scott, often seen as the leading man and hero of their films, was not just a co-star to Hayes, but a mentor and a friend who encouraged his career and understood his value in the storytelling process. This partnership helped shape some of the most enduring Western films of their time, leaving a lasting impact on the genre and solidifying their places in Hollywood history. Tribute in pop culture. Gabby Hayes lives on. Gabby Hayes' influence reached beyond the world of Western films and into popular culture. His iconic image was parodied in the 1974 Mel Brooks comedy Blazing Saddles, where a character named Gabby Johnson, played by Jack Starrett, humorously mimicked Hayes' grizzled demeanor and colorful speech. This satirical homage paid tribute to Hayes' lasting influence on the Western genre and his role in shaping the archetype of the lovable, grizzled sidekick. Similarly, the character of Stinky Pete the Prospector in Toy Story 2, voiced by Kelsey Grammer, was a clear nod to Hayes' persona, combining both the humorous and complex aspects of his on-screen image. Gabby Hayes' enduring influence in television and film. In the world of late-night television, Gabby Hayes' image continued to evoke nostalgia and affection. On The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, Carson famously impersonated Hayes, recreating his distinctive voice and mannerisms in a comedic sketch. This tribute, performed alongside Western legend Roy Rogers, highlighted Hayes' lasting impact on American popular culture. The sketch became a memorable part of Carson's comedy classics, underscoring how deeply Hayes had embedded himself into the fabric of Western film history. His image, once synonymous with B-Westerns, had now become an integral part of the comedic landscape of American television. A life well lived, Gabby Hayes' legacy. Gabby Hayes' legacy extends beyond his acting career. In Wellsville, New York, his hometown, the Gabby Hayes Days Festival celebrated his contributions to the entertainment industry. The event brought the community together through street sales, square dancing, and look-alike contests, allowing both locals and visitors to celebrate the actor's memory. Over time, the festival merged with the town's annual balloon rally, ensuring that Hayes' connection to the community remained strong. His name lives on in the street that bears his name, Gabby Hayes Lane, and in the hearts of fans who continue to remember him as one of the most beloved characters in the history of Hollywood Westerns. Gabby Hayes' final years and passing. In his later years, Gabby Hayes experienced a significant loss with the passing of his beloved wife, Olive Ireland Hayes, in 1957. Their long and devoted marriage had been the cornerstone of his personal life, and her death left him deeply affected. Seeking solace, Hayes retreated to his ranch in Tuca Lake, California, where he could find peace away from the pressures of Hollywood. As he aged, however, Hayes found it increasingly difficult to maintain his rural lifestyle, ultimately moving to a more urban setting in a 10-unit apartment building he owned. This change reflected a more pragmatic side of Hayes, showing that beyond his iconic on-screen persona, he was a man who adapted to the realities of life. A quiet passing, Gabby Hayes' health began to deteriorate in early 1969, and he was hospitalized for complications related to cardiovascular disease. Despite receiving medical care, his condition worsened, and he passed away on February 9, 1969, at the age of 83. His death marked the end of an era for fans of classic westerns, as Hayes had been an integral part of the golden age of Hollywood. He was laid to rest at the Forest Lawn Hollywood Hills Cemetery, alongside other legends of the industry. Though he had long since retired from film, Gabby Hayes' legacy continued to live on in the hearts of those who had admired his work. A lasting legacy. Gabby Hayes' passing was not just a loss to Hollywood, but to the generations of fans who had grown up watching his films. He may have been known as the grizzled sidekick to stars like Roy Rogers, Randolph Scott, and John Wayne. But he was so much more than that. Hayes brought warmth, humor, and depth to the roles he played, leaving a lasting imprint on the Western genre. His legacy continues through the tributes, parodies, and celebrations of his life and work. Gabby Hayes remains one of Hollywood's most iconic and beloved figures, his memory enduring as a symbol of loyalty, humor, and the heart of the American West.